Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Utamas Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. I offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudev. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Nara Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Sri Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by the rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So, ang nakaraan, what happened was, si Dhritarashtra was convinced by his younger brother na si Vidura to leave his place of shelter, yung kingdom na dating sa kanya, but now belong to his enemy, which is yung mga pamangkin niya. But of course, Yudhishthir Maharaj, who is the new emperor, is very respectful, very humble, and very grateful even kay Dhritarashtra. There was a verse last time that Yudhishthir Maharaj was doing his morning duties, doing the worship, offering charity. Then, he will offer respect sa mga elders niya. Since si Vidura sa si Dhritarashtra nandun, saka yung asawa ni Dhritarashtra na si Gandhari, sila yung mga elders in the kingdom. So, he will offer first yung obeisances. Ang gandang, ang gandang culture to offer respect sa mga elders, di ba? So, pag gising mo sa umaga, gawin mo yung duties mo, tapos hanapin mo yung lola mo, tapos magmano ka. In the temple, we often do that. We should always pay obeisances sa guru 3 times, but if you, in actual, we must do dandavats when you see him in the morning, in the evening, and if there will be a darshan or instructions. Diba? Kasi like, naging question ko yun sa Mayapur eh. Lahat na lang ng guru kailangan mag-dandavat ka. Eh, kada street na pupuntahan mo, may guru. Or sa Bindaban. So, ganun pala yun. Early in the morning, that's much more important. So, si Yudhishthir Maharaj, pagpunta sa quarters, nagulat siya. Where's my elders? Tapos nagkaroon na anxious siya, anxiety siya. Kasi, he is thinking na baka tinake nila yung offense na dahil sa akin nangyari yung war na to. He is in that humble position. So continue the reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. If you want to see the rest of the cantos, ayan yun. So also, if you want to catch up, there are links na sinend natin dun sa group chat natin. Meron din dun yung PDF or ebook that you could read for the Srimad Bhagavatam. We're at the first canto, creation, chapter 13, entitled Dhritarashtra Quits Home. Text number 32, ulitin natin to. Maharaj Yudhishthir, full of anxiety, turned to Sanjay, who was sitting there, and said, "O Sanjay, where is my uncle, who is old and blind?" Sanjay is the servant of Dhritarashtra. Siya yung nasa picture dun sa Bhagavad Gita, na nag-recite ng nakikita niya sa Bhagavad Gita. Sige, maganda daw may illustration eh. Para hindi tayo nahihirapan. Ito si Sanjay yan. So, meron siyang share screen. Nag-share screen siya. Kay Dhritarashtra, kasi bulag si Dhritarashtra. What is happening in the battlefield of Kurukshetra? Sanjaya Ovacha. Diba? So, ni-explain niya. Tinatanong ni Dhritarashtra kay Sanjay, what's happening? So, he's a loving servant ni Dhritarashtra. And masakit para sa kanya na wala na rin yung master niya. Si Yudhishthir is asking Sanjay, baka alam mo Sanjay kasi ikaw yung servant. Eh. Text number 33. Where is my well-wisher, Uncle Vidura, and Mother Gandhari, who is very afflicted due to all her sons' demise? My uncle Dhritarashtra was also very mortified due to the death of all his sons and grandsons. Undoubtedly, I am very ungrateful. Did he therefore take my offenses very seriously, and along with his wife, drown himself in the Ganges? So si Yudhishthira Maharaj is talking. Hinahanap niya yung tito niya na si Vidura, which is well-wisher nila. Vidura saved them from a lot of calamities. Dhritarashtra is also his uncle, but he is still grateful kasi nung namatay yung pita nila, yung dad nila. Pita is dad, parang Mata is mother. Na si King Pandu, nag-take shelter sila kay Dhritarashtra actually. Although a lot of things happened, this kind of pure devotee never take offense sa ibang tao. Lagi siya nag-iisip na baka ako'y naka-offend. Diba? Hindi sila yung sensitive na parang sinabi niya sa akin yan or yung galaw ng kilay niya para may ibig sabihin niya sa akin. No. He's always thinking, maybe I'm offending someone. They are tolerating me. And even obviously, si Dhritarashtra yung mga may pakana rin nung or nag-aalaw nung nangyari ng mga offenses sa kanila or miseries nila. He is taking this as baka si Dhritarashtra was offended because of what happened. He was just really worried. So yeah, devotee never finds fault with others, but tries to find his own and thus rectify them as far as possible. So never siya naghanap ng fault sa ibang tao. There is an analogy where you don't always look in the window in this kind of perspective. You always see yung mirror. Diba? Kung magtiting ka na fault, wag mo hanapan sa ibang tao, hanapin mo sa sarili mo. Then rectify as much as possible. And if you're seeing glorification, tignan mo sa ibang tao, i-magnify mo kahit maliit na maliit lang. And never na do it in yourself to just make your false ego puff up. So let's continue. Text number 34. When my father, Pandu, fell down and we were all small children, these two uncles gave us protection from all kinds of calamities. They were always our good well-wishers. Alas, where have they gone from here? You know, andun ulit yung mga alas. So yes, ayun nga, bata pa sila yung namatay si King Pandu. Yes, si Vidura and si, how do you call this, Dhritarashtra yung nag-take shelter. Kung kanino sila nag-take shelter, nagbigay sa kanila ng shelter. Let's continue. Text number 35. Sutta Goswami said, because of compassion and mental agitation, Sanjaya, not having seen his own master Dhritarashtra, was aggrieved and could not properly reply to Maharaj Yudhishthir. So a servant's relationship to his master is actually very, how do you call it, very deep. Sobrang lalim nun. And because of this, actually, he is in sorrow. Ang hirap nga daw tansyahin or i-measure yung sorrow ng isang servant malayo sa master niya. That kind of relationship is is different rather compared to normal na material servant or master or other relationship. This is very like really bounded. One cannot stick to the renounced order of life simply by artificial dress or staying out of the home. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here na si Dhritarashtra did this, trying to renounce everything because it's the proper time. He's really old. That is certain. A lot of things happen. Kali Yuga is happening, starting. And by the guidance na kanyang brother na si Vidura, he's doing it. And even Gandhari, his wife, followed him. Pero hindi na to mag-asawa sila in that fact pagpunta na sa renounced order of life. They're still together but not for sense gratification, not for other duties, but for preparation sa death. And Prabhupada is mentioning a lot of actually pseudo renunciant will just dress like a sannyas or like a mendicant. Pero their consciousness is very different. Tuloy natin. Text number 36 na lang. Hanggang saan ba ako? Yan, text number 36. First, he slowly pacified his mind by intelligence, and wiping away his tears, and thinking of the feet of his master, Dhritarashtra, he began to reply to Maharaj Yudhishthira. So no one actually could pacify an agitation of the mind or the anxiety that we have. Only knowledge and intelligence. That's why there's always fear kasi we don't know what's gonna happen in the future. The fear of the unknown. So palagi tayong napupunta sa situation na ganon. And only by knowledge we could be pacified. And mga nangyayari sa atin, that's why when we are in the situation, we look for the right person to approach. If we are in the situation tapos approach mo yung tao na alam mo yung gagatungan lang yung problema mo or gagatungan lang yung problema sa ibang tao, hindi ganyan talaga yan. Alam mo, naalala ko ganito yung ginawa niyo dati. So parang lumalala yung sitwasyon. Same thing if we are in anxiety tapos we will think a lot of negative things that will make the situation worse. It will not help. Again, we should have that intelligence na invest natin. That foundation na invest natin. When we're in that situation like si Sanjay, he is trying to pacify himself, his mind, by intelligence. Sinugot niya yung mga natutunan niya, yung knowledge, diba? By the use of intelligence. So he could reply kay Yudhishthira for his inquiry. And this is very important kasi he is still meditating on the lotus feet of his master. That is the Krishna conscious way. We don't go directly to Krishna. The mercy of Krishna will go down through the process of guru and teacher, guru and the student relationship, the parampara. In our service, our meditation is going up, ascending naman sa mga devotees and spiritual master, and then going up. That's how we do, like when you do altar worship, we offer and we receive through this parampara. So he's always thinking, bakit hindi face of the spiritual master or the master? Bakit hindi yung mga ibang features niya sa katawan? We mentioned before that the other features of the Lord is being relished by different kinds of devotees. But those who are devotees of Krishna, who are unalloyed or pure devotees, they always meditate on the lotus feet. In the humble position, may mga prayers nga, just like si Uddhava, yung friend ni Krishna. When he went to Vrindavan to pacify yung mga gopis from the separation kay Krishna, nakita niya na umiiyak yung mga gopis doon in separation kay Krishna. And siya, kaibigan niya si Krishna, pero hindi niya nararamdaman yung ganong in separation na relationship ng mga gopis na to. Instead na ipacify niya, sabi ni Uddhava, ano your, cry more. Kasi yung love nila kay Krishna, nakikita ni Uddhava, much more greater than anyone else. Even siya, kasama niya si Krishna palagi. And he is praying, si Uddhava, na maging dust sa lotus feet ng mga gopis. Even, halos best friend niya si Krishna. He is praying na maging dust dun sa lotus feet ng pure devotee ni Krishna. So same, The meditation of us practitioners, we should be in that humble position, um, trying to meditate on the lotus feet of a spiritual teacher, the spiritual master. Taking shelter, the Pada Ashraya, taking shelter, the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Kaya we bow down. We see the great personalities and devotees or much more the spiritual master. We bow down, trying to touch yung dust na lotus feet niya and put it in our heads. And in that way, that's the best way to receive the mercy through the lotus feet. So yeah, sasagutin na ni Yudhishthira yung tanong ni Sanjay. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, good morning. May natapos mo na ba yung 37?
Yeah, hanggang
Ah,
37 pala yung verse na babasahin ko. No? Sige, I'll read. Sanjaya said, "My dear descendant of Kuru dynasty, I have no information of the determination of your two uncles and Gandhari. O king, I have been cheated by those great souls." So, dinaya daw siya. And this is very, how do you call this? Galing kay Krishna tong cheating na to eh. Pero this is different. Hindi siya yung cheating as budol or scam to get a lot of material things. This cheating is spiritual. May kind of cheating na pag ginawa kasi niya yung si Vidura nagpaalam sila kay Sanjay kasama si Dhritarashtra. Hindi mangyayari yon. Ang dami magko-protest. Ang daming pipigil. So, they did. They have to leave the palace, and that kind of cheating have to be done. And Krishna is doing a lot of these things. Um, ang dami nilang kailangan gawin na ganito. Even the other devotees, like si Sanatan Goswami, he have to escape yung prison para makapunta kay Lord Chaitanya, yung mga prison guards. Si Krishna did this a lot of times in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Minsan pabababain niya yung araw, tapos paglalabas na yung mga kalaban sa tinataguan nila, papasikatin niya uli. And tinuruan pa niya si Yudhishthira to cheat. Kasi there was a time, one last point na kukwento ko. Sa war, si Ashvatam, if you could remember, siya yung nagpakawala ng Brahmastra. Yung tatay niya, si Dronacharya, sila yung teacher nila Arjuna. Pero sobrang wild nito sa battlefield. Kumbaga lahat ng dumaan patay by thousands. Is siyang I forgot that term, maharati. Diba? He could kill by thousands. So, para mawalan siya ng gana sa war, ang din-devise ni Krishna plan, na cheating plan, kailangan malaman ni Dronacharya, kahit hindi totoo, na patay na yung anak niya, na si Ashvatam. So, inutusan niya si Yudhishthira, you should shout, Ashvatam is dead. Pero sabi ni Yudhishthira, no, hindi ko pwede gawin yun, hindi ako pwede magsinungaling. Diba? Hindi ako pwede magsabi ng hindi totoo. And naka-devise din ng plan na yung isang, I think, yung elephant nila na ang pangalan din Ashvatam, na namatay na, ayun yung sabihin mo. Pero wag mo sasabihin yung, and isigaw yung the elephant. Sabihin mo lang, Ashvatam, the elephant is dead. So, si Krishna yung may pakulo nito. And they did this. Yudhishthira did this. Ashvatam, the elephant, is dead. Nung in-announce ni Yudhishthira yun, narinig ni Dronacharya, pinanghinain siya ng loob. And by that, na-overpower na siya ng mga Pandavas. And natalo sila in that scenario. So Krishna will make this a lot of cheating plans. And yes, he is doing this to us. He will cheat us para malayo tayo kay Maya and para lumapit tayo sa kanya. Just try to observe kung bakit tayo nandito pa rin ngayon. Ang daming cheating plan ni Krishna doon. And of course, yes, I think sasagot na si ano, sasagot pa uli si Sanjay regarding this.
Hare Krishna. Good morning, everybody. It's we're always blessed, no? Wednesday. This for me. I'm always blessed to be here with you in this wonderful association, reading and studying and hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, these wonderful stories. Ang galing, no? May isa last part nung ano ng translate ng purport ng text number 37. No? Transcendental fraud. Si Krishna talaga makulit eh. Krishna talaga yung nagpasimula ng mga ganyan. Yung mga prank. Yung prank niya kakaiba eh. Papalitawin yung araw bigla. Ano, yung mga ganun. Hindi mo tinuruan niya si Arjuna na magsinungaling in that way. Parang white lie nga daw. Eh. Lupit na. Yung parang Ashwatam toot is dead. May ganun pala yun. No? May ang tawag doon yung toot moment. O bleep moment. Ang kulit lang eh. No? Talagang si Krishna very interesting yung mga pinagagawa niya. That's why yung mga devotees, mga surrendered devotees sa kanya, baliw na baliw eh. Kasi yun yung mga namimiss nila kay Krishna pag iniwanan sila ng Krishna eh. Mga ganong klaseng moments. Krishna, walang dead moment kay Krishna. Laging interesting, laging masaya. Kasi nga, even the fact na sinasabi nga, nag-stay siya in that parang 16-year-old boy na form. Kasi nga, sa ganung years, andun lahat ng joy, andun lahat ng energy, andun lahat ng parang kakulitan, sa ganung age daw ng katauhan. Kaya, hindi by accident na si Krishna, parang yun yung pinoportray niya na nag-stay siya in that number of years, 16 years old, na body. Ganun. Pero masaya lang. So in continuation, ito na, basahin natin yung text number 38. Kasi may interesting na naman na personality na lilitaw. Eh. Meron palagi, at least no, sana sa buhay natin, meron laging lumilitaw na personality na pag blanco tayo or may problema tayo sa buhay and kailangan natin ng relief. No? Biglang lilitaw. No? Ito na yung babasahin natin yan. Hindi na bago sa mga iba.
Safeguard.
Ano? Safeguard. Ay, safeguard.
Yung konsensya yung sinasabi naman.
Yung konsensya. Yung biglang lumilitaw, gano'n. Yung mga ganun eh, no? Ito, babasahin natin. Text number 38. Translation. While Sanjaya was thus speaking, Sri Narada, the powerful devotee of the Lord, appeared on the scene carrying his tumburu. Tumburu, parang ano yun, yung vina or tanpura, sort of, string instrument. Maharaj Yudhishthir and his brothers received him properly by getting up from their seats and offering obeisances. Yan. So all throughout the Bhagavatam, even specific sa Mahabharat, sa lahat eh. May nagtanong text what number? Text number 38 na tayo. 38. Text number 38. Sa Bhagavatam, very ano to well known to si Narada Muni na ganito eh. Yung pumapasok, yung mga pasok niya, tawag dyan, grand entrance palagi. Palagi walang, hindi siya basta-basta nag-a-appear ng walang ano. Oh, tama yung sinabi ni Narada.
Kailangan may ganap, no?
Bida moment palagi ito si Narada Muni. Pag may mga story na may twist sa plot, parang gano'n, or something na wala nang seemingly parang wala nang way, wala nang information na maganda, or alam mo yun, parang dead end na lahat. Biglang, biglang papasok to si Narada Muni and magbibigay siya ng mga transcendental na mga kasagutan sa kanilang mga katanungan. Ang galing na sana meron din tayo palaging ganun, no, na nakasama sa buhay. No? Tapos yun, dinidescribe dito na si Narada Muni kasi being, sabi nga, topmost devotee of the Lord pagdating sa mga philosopher type. And hindi lang siya basta-basta philosopher type. Ano rin siya? Siya yung tinatawag na transcendental spaceman. Kasi nga, he was endowed with this power to travel. Kahit saan niya gustong pumunta. Binigyan siya ng license. Binigyan siya ng all pass na gano'n. Mainly because he's preaching Krishna consciousness. So ito yung binigay sa kanya na license ni Krishna na you can go wherever you like but save those fallen souls and preach Krishna consciousness. So all throughout Bhagavatam, even sa Mahabharat, very influential, very much talked about yan si Narada Muni kasi nga pagdating sa mga situation, lumilitaw siya. So even in this pastime, Seemingly walang nakakaalam kung saan talaga nagpunta si Dhritarashtra, his brother Vidura and the wife Gandhari, Mata. So ito na, lumitaw na naman siya. I-explain niya kung siya yung magbibigay ng kasagutan sa kanila. So tapos yun, dinidescribe lang how the Pandavas, of course, pure devotees of the Lord also, they know how to receive such great personalities that they did all the parang welcome party na ganun. They received him very nicely. In-invite nilang umupo ng maayos, hinugasan yung mga yung paa, ganyan. So lahat ng mga proper Vedic na rites and mga ceremonies to welcome a pure devotee. Kasi binabanggit ni Srila Prabhupada dito na, di ba may narinig tayo na word na Bhagavan? Bhagavan usually, ginagamit lang natin yan para kay Krishna. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavan. Because Bhagavan meaning one who is the owner or one who possesses 6 opulences, which is fame, beauty, knowledge, wealth, renunciation. Ano pa yung isa? Nakalimutan ko. Power, strength. Yeah, strength. Yeah, yeah. So, Bhagavan, kaya siya tinatawag na Bhagavan. Kasi all these features, all these are in full sa personality ni Krishna. Kaya siya tinawag na Bhagavan. Siya lang yun, merong ganun. Hindi lang 100%, baka whatever. Lahat, in full capacity sa kay Krishna lahat yun. Kaya siya tinatawag na Bhagavan. Pero dito, dinidescribe na si Narada Muni, na-address siya dito as Bhagavan. Why? Because mainly he's pure devotee of Krishna. And Lord Krishna parang as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sabi nga, there's no dearer than me. Sinabi niya yun sa Bhagavad Gita. In-explain ni Srila Prabhupada dito sa purport, yung verse sa Bhagavad Gita na gano'n. There's no dearer, one is, parang tama ba yun? No dearer than me, than he who travels all over and preaches Krishna consciousness, parang ganun. So si Krishna, proud siya sa mga ganung klaseng devotee and rightful na rightful na recipient ng ganung klaseng respect and even title. Kasi nga their only business is to preach Krishna consciousness. So same with Narada Muni, na-address siya dito as Bhagavan. Because of that feature, he's just preaching Krishna consciousness and always enlightening everybody all over the universe about Lord Krishna. Kaya yeah, in-address siya dito as Bhagavan ng mga Pandavas. Although normally, ginagamit lang talaga yun kay Lord Krishna. Pero narinig ko, may nag-lecture na isang devotee, even sa India, ginagamit yun eh. Tinatawag na Bhagavan yung mga tao. Yung mga mayayaman, yung mga super, even the politicians, anything na may position sa gobyerno or basta influential, tinatawag din sila ng Bhagavan. Yeah. Parang in a more material context, parang ganun. But in all respects, the word na Bhagavan is actually only for Krishna and his transcendental pure devotees or this kind of devotees na very intimate servants ni Lord Krishna like Narada Muni. So yun, dinidescribe lang how the Pandavas, nung nag-arrive si Narada Muni na ganun, di-receive nila and then binigyan nila ng proper na welcome. So text number 39 in continuation. Maharaj Yudhishthir said, O godly personality, I do not know where my 2 uncles have gone, nor can I find my ascetic aunt who is grief-stricken by the loss of all her sons. So wala nang masyadong maraming intro. And in-explain kasi si Maharaj Yudhishthir is very much in anxiety. Wala nang paligoy-ligoy. Immediately tinanong niya na agad kung nasan. Kasi first of all, elderly na yung mga nawawala eh. So di ba parang siya, very much alarmed and very much disturbed for their welfare kasi nga may katandaan na sila. Saan sila nang punta? Walang nakakaalam. Ganun. So tinanong na agad ni Maharaj Yudhishthir. And then explain dito na binibigyang highlight dito si Mother Gandhari, the wife of Dhritarashtra, who is practically their mother also. Kasi nga dahil sa nangyari sa battle, all of her sons were killed, 100 sons in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So imagine her grief, imagine her suffering na nararamdaman. So iniisip niya 'di ba, like yung binanggit ni Radha Charan Prabhu in the previous text. Iniisip nila na baka dahil dahil sa ginawa namin, yung Mother Maharshi this year and Pandavas, baka finally tinake nila yung offense of killing their sons, and because of that, nawala ba sila, and sabi nga, nagpakamatay ba sila, did they drown themselves sa River Ganges? Parang ganun. So, yun yung mga pumapalo sa isip ni Maharaj Yudhishthira at that time, and nag-add sa kanyang anxiety, and bigla lang silang nawala, alam mo yun. Kasi natural, yung compassion ng devotee, yung this type of yung feeling ng devotee, not to, but to mention Maharaj Yudhishthira being a pure devotee and very much compassionate, we can imagine his his anxiety. So parang ganun. Tinanong niya na kagad, wala nang paligoy-ligoy pa. Gusto niya na malaman kagad paano sila or saan sila nagpunta or nangyari sa kanila. Basahin natin yung, wait lang. May gusto akong basahin dito about kay Queen Gandhari kasi nga ini-spotlight siya rito. Sabi, Queen Gandhari is a typical example of an ascetic because of her marvelous character in many trying situations. She was an ideal woman as mother, wife, and ascetic. And in the history of the world, such character in a woman is rarely found. So yung chastity na tinatawag, but dinidescribe natin ng mga nakaraang discussions. This chastity is the main feature ng woman na talagang pwedeng nagbibigay sa kanya ng power, nagbibigay sa kanya ng distinct character. Is that characteristic of being chaste? Kasi si Queen Gandhari, she's a very qualified princess. When she found out that ang mapapangasawa niya si Dhritarashtra is blind, so naglagay siya ng blindfold sa sarili niya para hindi ma-feel ng asawa niya, or even siya ma-feel niya na superior siya sa kanyang asawa. So tinake niya yung ganung road ng ng tawag diyan, austerity and penance. Wag mahal mo yung tao, gagawin mo lahat. Kung bulag ka, papakabulag rin ako, parang ganun. Basically ganun. So yun yung tinatawag na chastity na very rarely found sa sinasabi nga ng Srila Prabhupada, unfortunately, sa women in the modern age. Wala na yung ganun. Gusto ng mga women, they are loose, they are can do whatever they want. So yung guidance ng scriptures on how a woman should act, nawala because of this itong yung tradition, yung Vedic tradition of how a women should be acting. So anyway, tinuturo dito na yung rare example ni Mother Gandhari is very much you can say exemplary, and something na all of the women should aspire to become. Kasi nga yun, bulag yung asawa niya, nagsuot siya ng blindfold para all her life. Ganun, parang you can say parang pantay sila ng asawa niya, parang ganun. And then of course, yung nangyari sa battle, nawalan siya ng ganung, lahat ng anak niya is namatay. And then yung austerity na tinake niya, di ba? Para lang maibsan ang mga bumubulusok na damdamin. Imagine yung niya, imagine talaga yung grief na nararamdaman niya. Tapos meron siyang asawa na kailangang i-take care, di ba? Parang ganun. So, napakahirap. Sinasabi lang sa purport na yung character ng woman na yun is rarely found nowadays. Continuation, text number 40. You are like a captain of a ship in a great ocean, and you can direct us to our destination. Thus addressed the godly personality, Devarishi Narada, greatest of all philosopher devotees, began to speak. Purport. There are different types of philosophers, and the greatest of all of them are those who have seen the personality of Godhead and have surrendered themselves in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So very important. So number one na kailangan natin maintindihan na philosophizing is just one thing, But philosophizing in Krishna consciousness or being a surrendered of Krishna is the highest of all the philosophers. Parang ganun. Among all such pure devotees of the Lord, Devarishinarada is the chief, and therefore he has been described herein as the greatest of all philosopher devotees. Unless one has become a sufficiently learned philosopher by hearing the Vedanta philosophy from a bona fide spiritual master, one cannot be learned philosopher devotee. One must be very faithful, learned, and renounced. Otherwise, one cannot be a pure devotee. A pure devotee of the Lord can give us direction towards the other end of nations. Devarishi Narada used to visit the palace of Maharaj Yudhishthir because the Pandavas were all pure devotees of the Lord, and the Devarishi was always ready to give them good counsel whenever needed. Diba? So, in-explain na hindi lang tayo dapat maging, diba, in studying Srimad Bhagavatam or studying any scriptures. Ang goal natin is not to to just hindi lang siya mind nourishing dapat yung pinag-aaralan natin. Dapat pati sa heart nag nag may effect dapat sa heart. Pinag-usapan natin nakaraan na Radha Charan po, may isa tayong kilalang devotee na bata pa lang siya, ang galing-galing sa Krishna consciousness, very very say ano yung word? Very enthusiastic, and pagdating sa mga classes, magaling siya, medyo matalinong bata. Pero because wala siya masyadong practical devotional service, at there's a point in his life na somehow naging atheist kasi lagi lang knowledge, walang practical application ng knowledge. So I guess gusto ko lang i-relate yun sa sinasabi rito ng mga type of philosophers, kasi may mga philosophers na we can understand what it means. A philosopher meaning someone who is very intelligent, someone who is very knowledgeable in a particular science or particular subject matters. Pero iba pag sinabing philosopher devotee. So ayun yung binibigyang focus dito. Philosopher devotees like Narada Muni, they are the topmost of all the philosophers because they are devotees of Krishna. And the knowledge that they're giving is the perfect knowledge. That perfect knowledge of Krishna consciousness. And so ayun yung difference between just the regular philosopher and the philosopher devotee. So si Narada Muni used to visit daw itong mga Pandavas, and very much love niya yung mga Pandavas because they're also pure devotees of Krishna. So he doesn't mind coming and visiting them every now and then, kahit na busy siguro yung schedule niya kasi yan, tina-travel niya buong universe lang naman. Ang dami niyang sinisave na souls. Pero every once in a while, make sure niya na binibisita niya yung mga Pandavas and nagbibigay siya ng counsel to them. Because they are beloved devotees of Lord Krishna. So naturally, he's also very much inclined to help them, to give them wonderful association. And that is the good thing about Krishna consciousness. Talagang yung this aspect ng good association, like what we're having now. We are having this wonderful association. 'Di ba? Hindi naman tayo talaga magkakakilala sobra. Like at least for me, nakiki-join lang ako sa podcast ni Radha Charan Prabhu. Pero lahat naman tayo hindi tayo masyado magkakilala. But this process of Krishna consciousness, this hearing, this chanting, 'di ba? These kirtans, pinagsasama-sama niya tayo lahat dito. And 'di ba parang feeling natin magkakapamilya na tayo kasi ang pinag-uusapan natin si Krishna, hindi about us. No? Parang ganun. So that is the wonderful effect ng process of Krishna consciousness. Magkakakilala man tayo or hindi, mga close man tayo or hindi, mga friends. Pero if we focus on that personality, Lord Shri Krishna, and his activities and also his pure devotees, it brings us together. So that is what the wonderful process of Krishna consciousness. So we must take advantage. So at least like I said this morning, and at least for me every Wednesday, I'm so blessed to be with all of you, sharing and reading and studying this Bhagavatam. So yun, so basically si Narada Muni pumasok sa eksena and bibigay na siya ng kanyang mga ano yung may word na sinasabi, kanyang mga words of wisdom. Pero may isa pa akong verse pala, hanggang 41 pala ako. Ano na ba ako? Okay. 40 and 41 pa, di ba? Yeah. So, text number 40. Oh, no. 41 na ako. Natapos ko na yung 40. Yeah, 41 na. Yeah. Translation. Srinarada said, "For everyone is under the control of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, all living beings and their leaders carry on worship to be well protected. It is He only who brings them together and disperses them." Okay. So now nagets ko na yung ano. Kaya napakaganto ng title ng today's podcast. Don't worry. Not everything is under your control. Parang sort of ganun. And that's very true eh. Kasi the very reason why people are in so much anxiety, people are in so much depression, because they think that they can control everything eh. This controlling propensity is very much we can say, if not understood very well, can destroy one's mentality or one's life, parang ganun. And this is the very reason why there are wars, there are so much misunderstanding because of this controlling propensity. Parang yung sagot ni Narada Muni kay no, kay Yudhishthir biglaan din, no. Parang alam mo yan, parang yung
Punchline
pilosopo na
kaagad, no?
sagot. Pilosopong sagot. Bakit na problema ka? Hindi mo naman kontrolado yun. Huwag mo problemahin, no? Parang ganun yung dating, no? Kung itatranslate natin into layman's, ano. Huwag mo problemahin yan. Hindi mo naman kontrolado yan. Si Lord lang may control niyan. Medyo parang nakakabigla rin, yun. Pero yun, the words of a pure devotee is always beneficial. Sometimes harsh man or medyo may paligoy-ligoy konti, pero the point is always there and the point is always beneficial and true. Pero yun, sinasabi niya lang, yun, huwag mong alalahanin kasi si Lord under the control of the Supreme Lord. Yung sagot niya. Ay. Yun lang, siguro. Move on na tayo sa text number 42 and Navadip Chandra Babu will read. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Good morning. So, yung sinasabi ni gusto ko yung sinabi ni Radhanath Prabhu about the philosopher na nilagay lang sa ulo. Parang ano yan eh, yung mekaniko diyan sa atelier. Alam niya yung mga pasikot-sikot na ganun. Although yes, hindi niya kayang i-present ng professional compared doon sa graduate sa Lasal na yung mechanica lahat paikot-ikot noon, alam niya, kaya niya explain sa'yo, pero never siyang yung kamay niya nagkaroon ng grasa. Hindi niya na-apply practically, pero pag in-explain niya sa'yo, pabalik-baliktad niya mga mechanical na yan, alam niya. Pero kailangan mas pa rin eh, kumbaga mas kumpleto pa rin or mas maganda pa rin yung practical. Yes, kailangan natin yung mga theoretical na yan. Pero mas maganda kung dalawa. Matututunan natin tapos i-apply natin. Then sabi nga, andoon yung purity is the force. So, yun. In-apply natutunan, then in-apply, and then may meaning, and then may power. May power yun. So, kaya nga sabi dito ni Narada Muni sa text 42 is, as a cow bound through the nose by the long rope is conditioned. So also human beings are bound by different Vedic injunction and conditioned to obey the orders of the Supreme. Ayun. Katulad nga, yun nga, ayaw natin sa gusto, still we are controlled. like a cow na nakabound yung makita niyo yung cow merong nose ring siya tapos anong tawag doon sa klase ng ring na yun nandito sa gitna. Anyway, tapos may rope yun. Rectum, ayun.
Septum.
Septum. Erase.
At na yung bleep na sinasabi ni Radanat.
Alpak. Anyway. So, yun, yung septum na yan. We are controlled. Kasi, yun nga, different injunction. If not, kung hindi natin susundin yung law of God or we can say the manual is the scripture, still controlled pa rin tayo ni Maya actually. Sa energy, yung external energy ni Krishna is controlled pa rin tayo. So, better na mas sumunod tayo sa will ni Krishna and then be happy and lahat naman ng desire ni Krishna sa atin is our well-wisher and lahat niyang gusto niya is mapabuti tayo. Actually, sabi nga dito, sa purport ng 42, actually yung 42 na purport, marami yan and marami akong nakuha. Pero let's see kung hanggang saan tayo. On the other hand, there is no such imperfection in the laws of God. If leaders are educated in the laws of God, there is no necessity of makeshift legislative council of aimless man. So yun na nga, hindi na kailangan pabago-baguhin pa kaya lang naman binabago ng mga tao kasi especially yung mga so-called leader ngayon sa government kasi inaano nila for their gratification. The point is dapat hindi natin yung kunyari pag sinabing nakalagay sa Bhagavad Gita, kunyari lang, bigyan mo ako ng tubig. Sinabi ni Krishna bigyan siya ng tubig. Pero inisip nung nagbasa is sa kanya yon. Bigyan mo ako ng tubig. Surrender unto me. Nag-surrender ka na dun sa yung mismong nagbasa o yung government na nag-interpret na siya yung God. Something like that. And factual position, another sa part ng purport ni Prabhupada. The factual position of the living being is, however, that he is the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. In his liberated state, he renders service to the Lord in transcendental love and thus enjoy a life of full freedom, even sometimes an equal level with the Lord or sometimes more than the Lord. Yun. Na nabibigay yung kung ano lang tayo is kung surrender lang tayo kay Krishna. It's like parang kasi ang sinasabi diyan yung freedom. Gusto natin lagi yung freedom eh. And akala natin yung freedom is pag wala tayong authority. Yung AAA nga eh. AAA is against all authority. Freedom. Mga sabi nga daw, yung mga punks. Sabi yung gano'n, yung mga punks is people under new knowledge. Hare Krishna, nagkaroon na sila ng new knowledge nila. Anyway, so, pero hindi yun yung translation, yung ibig sabihin nun eh. Pero anyway, pagka yung gusto natin yung freedom, yung tayo yung masusunod, yung sarili natin, is lalo tayong mahirapan actually. It's like yung stray dog. Di ba siya, sobrang freedom siya, yung askal, palakad-lakad siya, gawin niya yung gusto niyang gawin, makakuha siya ng pagkain or hindi. Kaso nga lang, very uncertain kung kailan siya makakuha ng pagkain or what. Kaya makikita mo yung itsura niya, hindi naligo, hindi alaga, hindi healthy. Basta ganon. Pero compare naman dun sa mga dogs na meron silang amo na sobrang naalagaan sila, well facilitated, laging naka-groom, tapos yung may oras yung pagkain, and then masustansya yung mga pagkain. well ano siya, well facilitated na yes, it's look parang yung isa is mukhang may freedom, pero hindi eh. Mas mahirap pa din kesa dun sa yung feeling niya na nakakulong siya or nasa loob siya ng bakuran na well facilitated naman siya. Actually, yung freedom naman talaga na kailangan natin is freedom from birth and death eh. Yun lang naman ang matindi. Na freedom from birth and death, freedom from this suffering, freedom from this illusion. So, kasi kung hindi pa rin tayo free sa lahat kasi ano to? Condition pa rin tayo sa modes of material nature. So, bound pa rin tayo sumunod. So, yun. Sabi nga is marami. So, in the material world, but of the living beings, and thus the illusion of Maya, this mentality or lording over, becomes a cause of further extension of conditional life. Tayo lang nagpapatagal sa sarili natin. Tayo lang nagbigay ng extension kasi sobrang attached nga tayo dito sa material world na to. Yun. So in the material world, all the living beings still more conditioned until his surrender unto the Lord by reviving his original state of eternal servitorship. That is the last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita and all other recognized scriptures of the world. So yun. Yun na nga yung instruction ng Bhagavad Gita na if we just surrender and reviving our original states, which is we are eternal servitor. Andun yung happiness natin actually. Andun. So, ang point dyan is ito pa, isa pa. The secular state and the godless state allows the citizen to break the laws of God, but restricts them from disobeying the laws of the state. The result is that the people in general suffer more by breaking the laws of God than by obeying the imperfect laws of made by man. Yun. Ang point dito is saan ba to? One should, kumbaga, sabi pa dito ni Prabhupada, one should focus one's consciousness on the pleasure of Krishna. Because we by nature and circumstances must be controlled. We cannot avoid it. So we should willingly, like Narada Muni said, is saying that place ourselves under the control of Krishna through the sastric regulation. Yung sastric regulation na yan, Vedic injunction, is yan yung natin yan, liberation through surrender. Yan, sabi ni Risa Mataji. Tama. Yan yung protection natin actually, yung sastric regulation na yan. Di ba nga lagi sinasabi sa architecture is pagka gumamit ka ng ruler, tuwid yung tuwid yung drawing mo. Pero pag di ka gumamit ng ruler, medyo san-san papuntahin or hindi siya straight. So ganun din, we must be we must follow rules and regulation. Rules and regulation means we know the regulation means the do's and rules is the don't. So ang point dito is to make it simple, do our duty, get on the boat. The boat we can say is the Hare Krishna movement or Krishna consciousness, and keep the body and soul together. Keep your body healthy and follow the rules and regulation of the boat. And yun, do the regulations and rules. Sundin yung mga don'ts. And don't offend wag tayo mag-offend ng someone. Then enjoy the facility. Then be happy. then we will reach our supreme destination. So sabi nga is, when we reach that, you can now embark the vessels after the settled in the shore. Eh, naririnig ko sa ano eh, sa yung ano doon, sa Macau. Eh, sa ferry. Tapos ayun, punta na tayo sa ano, 43. As a player sets up and disperse his playthings according to his own sweet will, so that the supreme will of the Lord brings men together and separates them. Yon. Parang sabi nga sa Bhagavad Gita is yung ano to? Parang tayong nasa river, yung mga twigs, yung mga sanga-sanga sa river. Minsan nagko-collide and madalas nagse-separate. So, everything is temporary. Eh, yun na nga eh. Madaling sabihin pero mahirap kailangan nating i-practice yun nga, yung detachment na yes, everything is temporary. Mag-iwahiwalay din tayo. Pero, I mean, but habang nabubuhay tayo, lahat kayo, tayo ngayon is mga artists or mga author. So, you are all, yung pagiging author nyo sa life nyo, yung life nyo is a open book. So, better make it inspiring. So, how to make it inspiring? Connected siya lagi dun sa scriptures or kay Krishna or sa mga sadhu. So, in that way, masarap basahin ng libro nyo, di ba? Nakita ko nga yung doon sa moving up nung mga yung graduation nung batch 4. Ang daming yung mga yung mga tawag doon, testimony or yung mga speech nila na nakita ko pa sa Facebook. Which is ang ganda, na very inspiring. Ang galing narinig ko sa kanya yan, galing. So, anyway, so sabi nga, 44, O King, in all circumstances, whether you are considered the soul to be an eternal principles or the material body to be perishable or everything to exist in the imperishable absolute truth or everything to be inexplicable combination of matter and spirit, feelings of separation are due to only illusory affection and nothing more. Ito ang ibig sabihin niyan eh. Sabi niya, kung inisip natin, sinabi na rin niya ni Krishna kay Arjuna sa Bhagavad Gita. Kung inisip natin yung body is the self and is going to die, what is the meaning of yung affection natin to someone? Diba? And if we think na yung body are no soul, parang it's just a bag of chemicals, still, bakit na naman tayo nag-build ng affection to someone? And if we think also that we are soul, and we are soul and you are soul, I am soul, then gano'n na naman, bakit na naman tayo nagkakaroon nag-maintain ng affection sa body? Eh magkikita-kita rin naman tayo sa next life. And if we think na we are all Brahman and lahat tayo mapupunta, parang itong 44 na to na disperse na lahat yung yung mga illusion ng mga tao na even yung mga gustong maging one with Brahman or maging one kay God is hindi pa rin kailangan yung ma-attach. Last one is kung alam mo naman na pumasok ka doon sa bahay ni Kuya at alam mo naman na isa lang mananalo doon at lahat kayo may time na lalabas doon at silang mananalo, ba't pa yung iyak-iyak yung mga, pag nakita mo lagi silang umiiyak pagka aalis na yung isa. But anyway, so, ganun. Magagawa lang natin yung detachment na yon if we have knowledge. So, sabi knowledge brings detachment. And yung knowledge na yon is na-apply natin na patuloy-tuloy na mag-associate sa devotee, then we will have the bright future and we'll have success. So thank you very much. And yes, Radhacharan Prabhu.
Napakaganda nun. And very perfect. Favorite kong verse actually yung binanggit ni Navadip Chandra Prabhu. That is coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. Many planks and sticks, unable to stay together, are carried away by the force of a river's waves. Similarly, although we are intimately related with friends and family members, we are unable to stay together because of our varied past deeds and the waves of time. So habang magkakasama tayo, the sticks and branches are together. Relish the pastimes, the glories, and the names of Krishna. And yeah, maraming salamat. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Narada
Jai.
Muni ki jai. So please remember, everything is not under our control. So next class, if you wish to attend Guru Maharaj class, you can move sa Zoom room ni Guru Maharaj. If you don't have the link yet, just send me a message. Thank you very much, Radhanath Prabhu and Navadip Chandra Prabhu. Good morning. Good morning everyone sa
Hare Krishna.
Zoomers saka sa Facebook Live natin. Hare Krishna, see you again tomorrow.
Yeah. Keep safe. Have a good day.